Shalom. And I want to start by saying all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Hakwadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, great millstone, and salutations so I can push in this word in all sincerity and honesty, the whole full that constantly doing. Shalom. My name is Korah Allah, and Lord makes for edifying lesson. The title is gonna be "He Could Stay, We Like Him," referring to Donald Trump. Okay, because ever since he was in office, he been pushing prophecies. All right, it may be the will of the elites, right? But ultimately, right, Trump may be a puppet, but ultimately, it all boils down to the orders of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai. As the scriptures say, the deceived and the deceiver are his. All right. So it says, Putin warns Trump of damaging consequences if he renews Iran war. Okay. And guess what? He is going to renew the war. All right. Because he's in that's the spirit he's in, through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, or the endless war. Okay. Which is going to become a domino effect to bring chaos and confusion to the world, right? And as the scriptures say, woes and lamentations. It says, Russia President Vladimir Putin cautioned U.S. President Donald Trump about the severe risk of renewed military operations targeting Iran during a recent phone conversation between the two leaders, according to the Kremlin. The warning came amid ongoing tensions surrounding the Iran conflict as the Kremlin sought to underscore the broader fallout of any escalation. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov briefed reporters following the call, detailed Putin's strong message to his American counterpart. Okay. Says the conversation reflects Russia's firm opposition to further strikes, emphasizing potential instability that could ripple across the region and beyond. Putin intervention arrives as reporters circulate of U.S. consideration involving Iran's, including possible blockade and intelligence assessments of Tehran's response to various scenarios. Okay. It says, according to the reporter from the Times of Israel, the Kremlin positioned the warning as a necessary alert against actions that could destabilize not just Iran but surrounding countries and the wider world order. Okay, yeah. So here it is. Putin is trying to quiet things down, basically trying to stop the fight, stop the war between Israel, American Israel and Iran, right? But when you read these things, you can't take it. You gotta take it with a grain of salt, because it's all everything that's being written down. All the news was being published. Everything is like a chess move. Okay, it's like you're at the office, and you got a problem with a different you have a problem with a different company or position, a different person in a different position. You have to put it down on in writing. You have to make a track record in order to save your ass, right? Then you got to CC your boss and stuff like that. This is basically what you reading or watching when you read these statements, right? And when you listen to these reports, Okay, so you got to take it with a grain of salt, because ultimately, Russia is partnered with Iran. Okay, and they have to find a way to strategically remove America out of power, right? And the same thing, America has to find a way to strategically um overcome Russia and Iran, or the whole BRICS community. Okay, so let's get a few scriptures, and low ones is edifying. This is Job 12:16. With him is strength and wisdom, right? With Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is strength and wisdom. Okay, because we believe, and that's our strength. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is our strength, and that's also gives us wisdom, pertaining to the elect. It says the deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, let's go to the deceiver. Shaga. Right? Let's see. Strong's Strong's H7686. Let me see what it says. Right? To lead astray, to err. Okay. And that's Esau. All right. Who's the deceived? The people. 2/3 of our people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are the true Israelites, and the whole world. Okay, you see the nations, they're deceived. Who's a deceiver? Esau, Edom, the one in rulership. Okay, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his, right? The deceived and the deceiver belongs to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, so you should be being deceived, then the spirit didn't awake you to the truth. And if you're deceiving, then the Lord put that aligned spirit upon you. And the scriptures say what? The wicked was created for the day of destruction. Okay, so Esau is doing his part, man. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. That's why Trump is in office, and Trump is the perfect example of Esau Edom. Okay, the guy to tell you one thing and does the complete opposite. This is Job 20:5. It says, I started 4. It says, knoweth not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right. So yeah, Esau is that hypocrite, man. The triumphing of the wicked is short, right? Though now the wicked is Esau Edom. All right, that's the beginning of wickedness, the epitome of wickedness. That's going into Esau Edom. All right. The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. All right. So here it is. Esau is in rulership, but we are actually at the end of his rulership. All right. That's why now you have this guy Trump in office. Okay. And he's basically bringing this place to a head, man. All right, this thing is at the end. All right, World War III is being established. The RFID microchip is being established. Okay, the chip is going to be implemented. Why we see the dollar is being crashed. They're crashing the dollar, and it's all done systematically. Okay, it's going to be a total reset, and what's going to be in order, that chip. Okay, and that along with wars, famines, all right, pestilence, all these things are happening. So it doesn't matter if Putin wants to have peace talks, right, ceasefires and whatnot. It's not gonna last. Okay, this thing is, well, I'll say this, I don't see this thing stopping. Ezekiel's 2 and I'll start at 9 says, And when I looked, behold, an hand was sent unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without, and there was written therein lamentations and mournings and woe. All right. And that's the prophecies, man. Okay. That's the prophecies coming to pass. That's what you have to look forward to. Kwa Wagan. Okay. Kwaya Kwaya Na. All right. Strong's H705. This is Lamentations. I'm looking up Lamentations. Okay. Lamentations, dirge, elegy. Lamentations accompanied by beating the breast or on instruments. All right. Let's look this up real quick. Lament for the dead, especially one forming part of a funeral rite. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of lamentations, man. It's gonna be a lot of dead bodies, you know, especially when people need to feed their families and they're unable to. All right, there's already a lack of jobs, man. People are going jobless. The unemployment rate is skyrocketing. All right, and the bills are increasing. Okay, so what's going to happen? People are using their credit cards to pay for certain things, and once that's due, right, they're going to have to implement martial law to stop the people from taking matters into their own hands. Okay, so that's the lamentations and the mourning and the woe. This is what you have to look forward to in this place, you know. So it doesn't matter what a man says. If Putin don't care, Putin said it or Trump said it, right? If they say, yo, stop the war, you know, let's look at peace. That's not according to the scriptures, though. Ezekiel 12:27 says, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth is for many days to come, and he prophesieth of the times that are far off. Yeah, they think this thing is not happening, man. It's going to be 1,000 years from now. It's not going to be in this lifetime, okay? But the Lord's going to, catch you basically sleeping. When you think it's not going to happen, that's when it happens, all right? So you got to stay ready for what's about to happen next. Like the Pastor Hall, where it says, you miss a day, you miss a lot. Okay, here it is. I'm reporting on news that happened today, right? And then you can go to sleep and wake up, Lord willing, and the war is back. Everything is back on, like it never left. Richard didn't leave. Okay. It says, therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord Yahweh. Okay, so the Lord's not speaking in vain. All right, whatever the Lord says is definitely going to happen. It's basically written in stone. There's no reversing it. Okay, and the Lord said there's going to be wars and rumors of wars. Okay, so that's definitely going to happen. And then also, how is America going to go out? By way of thermonuclear destruction. Okay, so that's also going to happen, right? And what we watching now is the escalation. 2nd Ezra 16:38, I like to bring this out. I end it here. It says, as when a woman with child in the 9th Slakia, I started 36. It says, behold, the word of the Lord receive it. believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Yeah, don't believe these false idols, even these men that are that glorify themselves as gods or rulers, and they're not, right? Because Trump glorifies himself as a god, okay, and he's nothing more than a man, right? Immortal, okay. It says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and slacken, and it says the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. And we were going over some of the plagues that's supposed to come upon this place. When it speaks about woes and lamentations, okay, it says, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh, for they slack not a moment. Okay, so the pains, in other words, be in the 9th. America destruction is compared to a child being born. Okay, and guess what? We're in the 9th month. All right. In other words, this destruction is already on the way. Like how they say, "Let me cook." All right, they'll let him cook. Listen, the food is already prepared. It's just in the oven, and now for a few more minutes, and it's coming out. Okay, so the same way, America destruction is being prepared, man. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua already prepared it, okay? And now we're just waiting for the arrival. So the pains slack, because the pains come and go, the birth pains come and go. So that's what we've been watching. We've been watching things happen, 2015, 2019, 2020, things happened and things stopped and it went quiet again. All right, now things started happening again in the beginning. 2026 started off with a bang, right? As soon as Trump got in office, and then what happened was the pains they slacked not a moment. Things just kept getting worse and worse. There's wars, right? It's supposed to be 4 days now. It's still going on, right? You got troops being sent to the Middle East. You got Israel and Iran trading missiles. Okay, now America is totally involved. It's no longer a proxy war. Well, it might be a proxy war for Russia. Okay, but Russia's going to get totally involved also. Okay, and these things have just been going and going. The dollar collapsing. The RFID microchip is manifesting. Okay, as what? As the mark of the beast. All right. And that's gonna be established, okay? That's gonna be forced upon the people, okay? And then what? Jacob's trouble, of course. We seeing all these things are happening, man, leading up to America being destroyed and the elect being delivered. It says, as when the woman with child. It says, verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. Yeah, on every side, because what? This man is coming down, having great wrath upon the whole world, okay? Because he knows he have but a short time. With down still, praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Shim, Yahushua, Washim, Hakwadash, double honesty, apostles, person, Elsgram, Millstone, and say, taste the occupation word, and also sing honesty. Shalom.